They say fine wine gets better with age.
Does it?
I don't know, you know, actually, if you really go to the wine store and take a look, most of the wine that's on the shelves is ready to be drunk right now. But we have the one varietal in our hand that if it's going to get better with age, this is it. It's Cabernet Sauvignon.
The king of red wines.
This is Fox Run's 2013 Cabernet Sauvignon, and you may not actually think of Cabernet Sauvignon being grown in the Finger Lakes. It is grown by a lot of the winemakers here. I guess that's just because people expect it to be on the tasting menus, or at least they expect that they should be able to buy it when they go to the wine store.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. I mean, it's frustrating when you go and you see a lot of whites, Rieslings, and Chardonnays, but what if you want a good red?
Yeah. So, but realistically, you know, Cabernet Sauvignon really grows very well in a much warmer climate, such as the Bordeaux region of France or Napa Valley in California, even down in Argentina or Australia, even Washington State.
Yep.
But you don't think of it much in the Finger Lakes region.
Yeah, so this would pose certainly a challenge for anybody who makes it here, and we're worthy to accept the challenge of trying Cabernet. So with the first whiff, I get a lot of more of the leather and a cedar or oak.
I get a tar smell on this one.
I know you're supposed to get oftentimes, typically with Cabernets, you're supposed to get some type of dark fruit. But certainly that leather and the kind of other things are getting in the way of the fruit, in my opinion.
Yeah. If you categorize Cabernet Sauvignon, you might form three different classifications. The first would be the one that's really fruit forward. It's doesn't really have any tannin to it when you taste it. It's not very complex. It's ready to be drunk immediately. As is the second category as well. These are the bigger wines, and they also have fruit, but it's a little bit more softened. But the tannins will be a little more complex, a little stronger, and more flavor.
Yep.
And then the third ones are those big, bold Cabernets that when you set them down for a couple years, they will soften and get a little more elegant.
Right.
So I think the nose on this one is more in that second category. It's got some complexity to the nose, which is actually something I didn't expect from this wine. Unfortunately, this wine is only 12.5% alcohol, which is really low for a Cabernet Sauvignon, and it really reflects on the taste here. There really isn't any tannin to this at all. I'm getting some tears on the glass, but it's But
I actually think that there is some tannin in there, just a little.
Just a little bit.
It's a hint of it, which is good because you don't want to have a wine that doesn't have any, in my opinion.
Yeah.
For a Cab Sauvignon.
I think though I'm thinking that because of it seems to be more of a Category 1 Cabernet, in my opinion here.
But it's not crazy fruity either. I mean, I almost get like a bittersweet chocolate, if you will, on there. I definitely get the dark fruits, as I had mentioned before. I'm almost getting like a green pepper in there too.
Okay. Now this it's a $25 bottle of wine, so it's a little bit pricey for a Cabernet, especially when for $25 you could probably get a real decent Napa Valley Cabernet, and that's going to be maybe something a little more complex. But if you're just starting to get into wine, this particular Cabernet Sauvignon might be one that you want to try just to kind of open up your taste buds to what Cabernet tastes like.
Diversify your palate.
That's right.
For sure.
So the pairing with this with food is kind of interesting. I mean, the back of the bottle says that it would go really well with roast beef, which I agree with.
Yeah.
And pork loin.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Anything that has kind of like, if you're dealing with a red meat that has a little bit of fat on there, usually does a good job of cutting through heavy tannic wines, but this is not really heavy tannic, so I don't think you have to reach for that really fatty steak or something like that.
Yeah, and then spaghetti. And I see this a lot in the Finger Lakes where they're just pairing red wines with spaghetti. And I don't see where this is going to go.
We're both Italian.
Yeah,
Italian wine.
I kind of would want something with a little bit more, spice that's going to really cut through the, some more acid. That's going to cut through the acid of the sauce. So I don't know where that would go. But all in all,
It's a decent wine.
Decent wine.
It's an entry point wine in my opinion. Fox Run Vineyards, 2013 Cabernet Sauvignon. They're on Seneca Lake, right?
They're on Seneca Lake, and we did a review of one of their port. Was it a ruby port?
It was a ruby port, yeah. But I saw on their website they have a tawny.
They have a tawny port.
They have a tawny port, and we love
We like tawny ports. We'll have to review that wine too.
Sounds good.
Excellent. All right, well, we'll see you on our next video. I'm David.
And I'm Leah, and this is Wine Forecaster.